Chaplain Beth Wilson and Officer John Gately served as crisis counselors, offering spiritual first aid for those dealing with the disaster.
The presence of God was very strong there.
For all the good in the world.
And the presence of evil was strong there as well.
There's no mistaking evil on September 11th.
It appears an airplane crashed into the World Trade Center. Every available ambulance you got to this position. Mayday, engine, the little plane hit the second tower, okay? There's been a major collapse in the tower. There was a major collapse. The World Trade Center's collapsed. Building 2 has collapsed. Fort David to Manhattan.
Absolutely wanted to go. Not a doubt in my mind that I wanted to be there to do something.
In the days and months after, Chaplain Beth Wilson and Officer John Gately stood on that sacred ground.
You couldn't believe what you were seeing, and I can't describe it adequately. It's something that you had to stand in. You had to see it, you had to smell it, you had to hear it.
What everybody saw on TV, but only in person.
Their mission was to support law enforcement. But soon,
it was very obvious that it was more than law enforcement. It was the firemen, it was the construction workers, it was the restaurant workers, it was anybody involved.
In work boots and hard hats, they paced ground zero, consoling and comforting.
It'd be kind of like a cup full of coffee that's all that emotion is getting dumped into and it's overflowing. We were able to just let them dump out a little bit so they could take some more in.
Mostly, they listened.
I'm very humbled, very honored to just be in their presence and listen to them talk.
And when they weren't listening, they prayed for the living and the dead.
When a body part was found, whether it be a torso or a foot in a boot or a head in a helmet or a finger, the first time I went, they always asked for a chaplain to come and be part of the escort of that body part out. And there was always prayer. We may have been praying over the finger of a terrorist. I don't know. And I don't care. That's God's job.
Out of the dust and the rubble, a whirl of suffering and support, heavy hearts and heavy burdens, death and determination. So many people to help, so many stories to hear.
October 30th, 2001, we talked with a young lady who drives an ambulance for the city.
To remember them all.
She was working on 9/11 and was standing outside of her ambulance.
Chaplain Beth journaled.
As the first plane hit, she wanted to go in and her partner told her not to because it was not safe.
In that darkness, out of the wreckage, one chaplain and one officer saw light emerge in moments and miracles.
People always say, where is God at a time like this? Well, he was there. It was very evident. There was a reason that that cross was found, and by the man who found it.
That was the amazing part, is these folks that had been there since September 11th were still moving forward.
For Chaplain Beth and Officer Gately, their faith was never shaken. They saw good rising out of the ashes of evil.
My goal was to make a difference, and hope and prayed that I did, and I know I did. And to say that is even hard to say it, but I know I did. I know we all did. I know we made a difference.
Chaplain Beth Wilson spent 18 days as a crisis counselor on her first trip to New York. Officer Gately went with her on her second trip. And in 1 week from today, they will both go back to New York once again. I'm Chelsea Kopta, KHQ Local News.